Justice League is directed by Zack Snyder and stars Ben Affleck as Batman, who after the events of Batman v Superman, which caused Superman to die, decides it's time to put together a team of people with very special abilities with the help of Wonder Woman, played by Gadot, as a new threat in the form of Steppenwolf comes in to do things. Yeah, that's the best I can say about the villain's motivation in this movie. So once again, Batman and Wonder Woman are very great in this movie. They're definitely the two most established characters in the DC universe besides from Superman himself, so it was great to see these two work together more, because we only got a little bit of that in Batman v Superman, so now we get to see them work throughout the entire film, and they just have really good chemistry together. You know, they interact with each other very well. They kind of get at each other's throats a little bit, but it's just great to see these two interact. But aside from those two characters, we have three new heroes in the form of The Flash, played by Ezra Miller, Cyborg, played by Ray Fisher, and Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa, and these three characters were really great as well. So The Flash is definitely a highlight of the three new characters, you know. He's definitely the comic relief of the movie, but I think for the character it works because he's the young, inexperienced one, and one of the things I really liked about The Flash in this movie is that he's kind of the fanboy of the group. You know, if you've seen like a few different Justice League animated movies or TV shows, then you know from the very beginning of the team, Flash has always been kind of the fanboy character, being like, oh my god, you're Superman, oh my god, you're Wonder Woman, oh wow, I'm in the big leagues now. Like the scene where Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash are on top of the roof and they see the bat signal and Barry's like, oh my gosh, it's the bat signal, that's so cool! The one hero that surprised me the most was Ray Fisher's Cyborg, you know. I was kind of feeling like he was going to be the weak link of the group, like he was going to be the least interesting, but no, he turned out to be a lot cooler than I thought he would, you know. Ray Fisher does a great job at capturing this performance. You know, he's this character that's had this accident happen to him and now he's trying to, you know, cope with the fact that he's a cyborg now, and he's constantly getting new abilities, you know, there's this one scene where he hovers off the ground with like rocket boosts and he's like, I couldn't do that last night. And he has some really cool tech moments in the movie, like controlling the Nightcrawler, one of Batman's newest vehicles, and it's just a really nice addition to the team. So Jason Momoa's Aquaman is basically like the uncle of the group, you know. He drinks a lot, he doesn't really care about anybody, but he's kind of forced to work with these people, and he was a great addition as well. My only complaint about Aquaman is that we really didn't get to see much of Aquaman's world and too much of his backstory in this film. I really wish they could have gone a little more in depth with that, so I feel like we could have had a little bit more time to kind of learn about Atlantis and Aquaman's world, but hey, these characters are the best part of this movie. They interact very well. I think they work off each other's performances, you know. There's a few moments in this movie where they kind of get at each other's throat and start fighting a little bit. It's like, it does feel a little forced at times, but I do like how it went down. It's like there's this one part in the movie where Batman's got this one plan, and everyone thinks it's kind of questionable. Fuck. Like, they think it's really questionable and a bit wrong, so they kind of disagree with him and they get really pissed off, which is kind of cool because that's the kind of thing Batman would do. So the villain Steppenwolf in this movie is unfortunately just a bit generic, you know. There's a little bit of background about him, but not much. He just kind of feels like a placeholder for a Justice League villain because they don't want to do Darkseid immediately, which I gotta give him credit for not going for the big bad of the DC universe. So, you know, it's just kind of a shame that this villain was not that exciting. I feel like you could swap him out with a few different villains. His motivation is basically he's got to get these three mother boxes to form the Unity, which somehow will destroy the world, and it's just the villain's motivation is not very well developed in the movie. It is more developed than the Enchantress's motivation in Suicide Squad. The stakes really aren't that high here. There's not really any doubt that Steppenwolf is going to be defeated by the Justice League in the end, and Steppenwolf is really just kind of an example of how the CGI kind of falls flat in this movie a little bit, you know. There's plenty of wide shots of him as well, which look okay, but then there's plenty of close-up shots where when I saw those, I was kind of confused. I was like, why are you guys just showing me a cutscene from the Injustice 2 Steppenwolf DLC? But then I was like, oh, that's actually, we're still watching the movie. But that being said, if Steppenwolf does show up in Injustice 2, it's gonna look amazing. It's like, there are some other parts of this movie where the CG kind of falls flat. You know, it's like there's a few different character models which stand in for the physical actors, and it's like, yeah, those are definitely CGI, there's no questioning that. And also, Henry Cavill, for the reshoots, he had to have his mustache digitally removed because he couldn't shave it because he needed it for Mission Impossible 6. And a lot of people were saying that it was really noticeable, and to me, I didn't notice it too much, but then again, I wasn't really paying attention to that, so I feel like if I saw the movie again, which I plan to, then I'll probably notice it a lot more. And unfortunately, Justice League suffers from some of the same issues that Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad did as far as time and pacing, because this film was clearly cut down from a longer length than 1 hour and 59 minutes, because the executives at Warner Brothers clearly were like, a lot of people had a problem with Batman v Superman's runtime, so we cut it down to 30 minutes. So logically, the best thing to do would be to cut down Justice League and make things even choppier. It's like, there are a few scenes in this movie that you definitely can tell, yeah, that was cut abruptly for time purposes, which was not a good choice to make for Warner Brothers, because this is how Batman v Superman suffered quite a bit, because they had to cut down the movie, which ultimately sacrificed important parts of the story. So that also kind of makes the pacing a little strange as well, because it kind of just seems like we get to certain things a little quickly. You know, it's like from the beginning of the movie, it's like Batman and Wonder Woman get introduced, they're trying to put the team together, and then suddenly they got the team together, and it's like, oh crap, we gotta get Superman back to life, and then the final battle happens, and then things get wrapped up. It's like, it feels like everything just happens a little too fast, and that's probably because it was envisioned as a longer movie, but Warner Brothers made them chop it down, so it's kind of unfortunate that way, and, well, honestly, if we don't get an extended cut of the Blu-ray when it comes out in the spring, there will be heck to pay. So I'm sure most people by now have heard about the extensive reshoots that went on over this summer, and well, they're not blended in very well. You know, there's this one scene in Barry Allen's apartment with Bruce Wayne, which we saw in the trailers, and there's just this one part where it's like, it's so obvious it's a reshoot because his hair is like a little bit different and the background is clearly a blue screen and not the actual set. So unfortunately the reshoots, I don't really know how much they truly added to the film. I just know they are a little too obvious. So it's kind of annoying, but I don't think it comes up too much to the point that it takes you out of it completely. It just may take you out of a couple scenes. And of course for a movie like this there's got to be a lot of exposition involved, and most of that is delivered through dialogue, which is always kind of the easy way out. You know, have Wonder Woman come be like, oh yeah, Steppenwolf, this, and then other characters be like, oh yeah, this happened to me, and then this happened to me, and then I can do these things. So I really wish that we could maybe have seen like a flashback sequence of like Flash becoming the Flash, you know, Ray Fisher becoming Cyborg. You know, we got a little bit of that in Batman v Superman, but I feel like a very small montage of like setting up these characters' origins would have worked very well here. But to this film's credit, the destruction is thankfully toned down from Man of Steel and BVS. It's like the destruction's a lot more contained, it's not nearly as extreme, cities don't get leveled this time. The final battle takes place in this very closed area, so there's not a lot of destruction going on, which is good, so it just focuses on the heroes doing cool hero action things, which is really nice. Which brings me to another point, the action scenes are really well done here. Every hero gets their moment to shine in these scenes. You know, we get to see Flash use the Speed Force, we get to see Cyborg doing his technological things, we get to see Aquaman using the ocean and his trident, or the Quindent, because he uses that one because he's not king yet, and when he becomes king, he'll have the trident. And we get to see Batman just kick some ass, use the grapnel gun, use the Batmobile, and of course we get to see Wonder Woman just be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's a badass, what else can I say? But for me, the best part of this movie, besides from the heroes, is just that this truly feels like the DC Universe on film. Because up until now, we've had like a few different references to the DC Universe, but here, there's several more of them. There's just so many things that, after seeing so many DC animated shows and movies and reading a number of comic books, there's just so many things I've been wanting to see in a DC movie, and this movie delivers on a lot of them. You know, we get to see Batman and Superman's relationship a little bit more, you know, Batman calls Superman Clark several times in the movie, which I thought was great. You know, there's just some other moments that I really can't get into too much, because it's kind of leading into spoiler territory. You know, there's this one scene where Wonder Woman's interacting with some young girls. It's like, that's just straight out of the comic books. That's really good. And, you know, it's just seeing all these different references and Easter eggs and just how these characters interact with one another, Superman especially, That's another thing. So, if you saw my Man of Steel review, you know that I was saying that Superman, Henry Cavill, is slowly going to become the Superman we know and love. And I think in this movie, he finally completes that journey. I think a lot of people who didn't like Henry Cavill's performance as Superman the last couple of movies are going to be able to look at his performance in this film and be like, yes! That is Superman. That is totally Superman. That's how Superman would act. That's the kind of things he would say. He smiles. We could see the blue in his outfit. It's just... God, I love being correct. So, Justice League has a lot of problems to it, but I think, kind of like Man of Steel, this movie is paving the way for even greater things to come. I think with the combination of Wonder Woman and Justice League, it's kind of paved the ground a little bit, it's improved on things, and one other positive I gotta say about this movie is that Lois Lane's role was toned way the hell down in here. She was only there when it was absolutely necessary, so that's just a great little thing, and some people will be happy about that, so way to find a balance, guys. So all in all, Justice League unfortunately suffers from the same story and pacing issues as some of the other DC movies, but it's got great characters, some great DC iconography in there, and those are the two things that's gonna keep me and other DC fans, I'm sure, coming back to this movie. So those are my thoughts on Justice League. If you have seen the movie, let us know down below, and we'll see you
on the questionable side.